Hello dear investors, the previous 7 days from November 2nd to November 8th were rich in events which affected cryptocurrencies as usual. For example, the annual Swell Global conference took place in Dubai. Meanwhile, in the US, FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried was found guilty. However, the exchange has a chance to resume working as early as this year. It has received multiple bids for a potential restart. At the end of this week, the Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple intend to meet about a briefing schedule for discussing what remedies are proper against Ripple. The briefing schedule deadline begins on November 9th. Notably, such a decision was taken by the judge on October 24th. If the regulator and the crypto company do not come to an agreement on this issue, the dates will be determined in court. For both Ripple and the entire crypto market, this means, in any case, a rapid and significant development of events, especially compared to the long period of judicial confrontation which has been going on for several years since December 2020. Curiously, since the court decision, neither side has reported anything about the discussion. As a result, the lack of clarity caused disputes and assumptions about possible scenarios. By the way, traders have different views on whether key rates have reached their peaks or not. Yesterday, Jerome Powell spoke at a conference celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Fed Board's Division of Research and Statistics. Markets were looking forward to his comments, including those about a change in U.S. bond yields. Recently, treasuries were the main driver of a rise in stocks, gold and Bitcoin. However, the politician did not provide any statements about the key interest rate or the economic condition, adding vagueness to the situation. Against this backdrop, the US dollar dropped and settled along the line of 105.5. For reference, the US dollar also suffered losses amid weaker than expected macroeconomic reports. Notably, the better part of investments flowed into crypto assets. It's possible that the data caused doubts about the effectiveness of the Fed's policy. However, the influx of investors to the crypto market has been fueled recently by expectations of the imminent appearance of a spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund. According to analysts, the inflow of funds into crypto assets has been lasting for 6 weeks already. Investments in Bitcoin have reached $229 million. For comparison, since the beginning of the year, investors have put in Bitcoin $842 million. As a result, the free volume of Bitcoins for purchase and sale decreased to record levels. Most of the coins are in long-term wallets. For example, about 68% of the total Bitcoin supply has not been moving between digital wallets for at least a year. It's highly possible that miners somehow improved the situation. A report from Bloomberg unveiled that the rally, which took place in October, encouraged the 13 largest mining companies to sell their asset. This is how Bitcoins worth $164 million entered the market. However, the number one cryptocurrency coped with such a massive sell-off and resumed gaining in value. Bitcoin started rising in the middle of the previous week when the US Fed kept the key interest rate unchanged once again. Nevertheless, bulls failed to exceed the critical level of $36,000 and Bitcoin launched a correctional process. It was trading within a narrow range of 34,200 to 35,870. Even yesterday's increase did not allow the asset to leave the channel. Interestingly, during the given period, Bitcoin added slightly more than 2%. However, in general, the bullish trend is losing momentum. The key support levels are located at 34,600 and 33,750, whereas the resistance level is seen at $36,000. On top of that, on November 7th, a very rare phenomenon was recorded on the blockchain network. Users of the blockchain network faced a large delay in the formation of blocks. It was repeated twice, and the second time lasted more than an hour. As a rule, the average block formation time in the Bitcoin network is approximately 10 minutes. Experts explained the delays by the complexity of mining, the growing demand for Bitcoin, and the load of the network. By the way, the Open Network is officially recognized as the fastest blockchain in the world. It processed 104,000 transactions per second and set a new global record for transaction processing speed. This year, the inflow of funds was also seen in Ethereum. The most significant investments have been made since August 2023. Although compared to Bitcoin it was smaller, it still totaled $17.5 million. However, the weekly growth was 5%, which exceeded the Bitcoin weekly rise. Analysts pinpointed that the token closed autumn in the last 8 years with decline 5 times. Will this November be an exception? On November 3rd, Ether slightly surpassed the support level and reached 1,780. Several sessions later, it managed to test the resistance level of 1,912. Since November 6th, the price has been consolidating under 1,900, maintaining the upward impulse. The key support levels are now located at 1,840 and 1,810. A breakout of the nearest resistance level will allow the asset to start moving toward the high of $2,000. Meanwhile, ahead of the Ripple Swell Conference 2023, bulls on XRP have become very active. They managed to protect the level of 60 cents and push the price to almost 73 cents per token. During the given period, the coin climbed to $0.72 from $0.59, thus adding more than 15%. However, Cardano showed the best performance among the 10 largest cryptocurrencies. During the period from November 2nd to November 8th, the coin appreciated by 23%. Judging by the trading chart, the price was rising without pauses. It increased to $0.37 from the support level of $0.29. The Solana token is also among the best performers as it attracted investments worth $11 million. Notably, the market capitalization of Tether has jumped by 22% this year. USDT now represents 69% of the stablecoin market. The first week of November was remarkable for a roller coaster in the crypto market. There is no doubt that cryptocurrencies could surprise traders even more. This is all for now. See you in a week on November 16th on InstaForex TV channel.